What is up, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Pez's Picks. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by the man with the picks himself, Pez. What's up, Pez? How are you? He's taking a drink. He's got to get the beer in. I don't know if that's beer. Is that beer?
This is a Orange Swift wine, Jeff. An
Ah,
abstract. I'm throwing a little bougie out there. I know you're not an alcohol drinker
I am
yourself, and
not.
you're. I think during Christmas week, you should drink every day, Jeff. I mean, I think this is what Santa is all about. To drink means you're not going to argue and get frustrated with the holiday festivities. And I've got a family gathering tonight, so you might as well get started early, Jeff. This is what the holidays are about. It's staying a little buzzed so you're happy, you're not aggravated. And that way, Santa comes to all of us then, Jeff. I encourage
Yeah.
everyone, a couple cocktails a day. Let's not go overboard, okay? Let's not go crazy here.
All right, so we've got to talk about a lot of stuff. We've got the college football playoffs starting up this week. Another full slate of NFL action with games on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let's talk about what we learned from last week. College football only had one play, and then in the NFL we finished 500. Where do you want to start, NFL or college?
Well, with college, Jeff, Boise State turned out to be a bad play for us. I think we fell victim to what we're seeing. There is a utter quagmire of uncertainty in college football, whether it be coaches and quarterbacks now who hold all the chips. We all know that college and pro football, the quarterback is the team. And there are hundreds of millions of dollars out there. We've seen numerous big name quarterbacks decide to just move on. Florida, I can't remember his name right now. They fired their coach last year to keep him, and now he's leaving, even though they fired the coach. We've got Dylan Raiola, a guy we rate pretty highly. Nebraska's coach Matt Rule stays to honor his guarantee to the Raiola family. Guy's pulling out; he's entering the portal. Archie Manning, I do have to give him credit, sticking around to Texas another year, and that bodes well for Texas in returning that lineup. I just think tonight or this is Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. North Texas is playing. Turns out their coach and their star quarterback not going to be at the game, Jeff. This is a star quarterback is now still not playing, so you really have to dig deep and do your due diligence when you're not betting these blue chip teams. And for Pez's picks, we're gonna stick to the blue chip games, Jeff. We're gonna take 3 out of the 4 of these playoff games this weekend. We might even take all 4, Jeff. I don't know. The game that we're hung up on is JMU and Oregon. Am I falling in love with JMU a little bit because the 6-string punter from 18 years ago tells me how good they are? That I don't know. Coach is leaving, but he's coaching in the game. Players have a lot to play for. They've got a legit running back. Aside from that, I don't think they have many guys, but I'm not too high on Oregon. So we'll see about that one. But all 3 other games, we have picks: Alabama, Oklahoma, Miami, Tulane, and we're going to get it all done, Jeff. We got picks in every game, and I can't wait for this weekend. I think they did it right. I think we got every team that should have been in this playoff is in this playoff. I think aside from Vanderbilt, who Pavia did not react well to not winning the Heisman, though I still think he was the Heisman guy. I think he's the purest Heisman guy I've seen in a long time. His team stinks. Did they deserve to be in the playoff over Miami? Probably not. But I think this is it. This is the top 12, and we can't wait to get it going.
It's going to be the first time the extended bracket. It's going to be a lot of fun. December 19th is when that kicks off in the first round. And again, when you hear Pez talking about, in case it's your first time watching or listening to the podcast, you might hear him talk about those plays. Pez'sPicks.com is the website to find those plays. Again, it's a pay site, so you got to make sure you pony up a little bit of cash, not too much, but enough to get your money's worth, because we have been winning in college football heading into the postseason, 22-14. Pretty proud of that, aren't you, Pez?
We are, Jeff, in a famous movie we were talking about off camera, one of the worst gambling movies ever made, but enjoyable because it's Matthew McConaughey. We're not asking for you to give us your money. Give us your bookie's money, Jeff. Help us help you take money from the house. That's what we want. We're charging a small fee so we can take money from the house, the sports book, the bookie, whatever you're doing. And that's what we do, Jeff. You know, we've been doing it 2 years. We haven't ever failed to come up with the goods, and we've been doing it again in college. And this playoff's going to be great. I don't know how many games, non-playoff bowl games, will be taken. We're to really take a look. This week, the card's kind of light going into Friday night. We got Friday night playoff football action for college football, Jeff. I don't think there's anything better. We got Saturday NFL games. We'll just let it out there. We're taking both of those, Jeff. And we got a lot of plays this weekend. I told you off camera, This is a big week. It's Christmas. We're pumped up. We're feeling good about every pick. So we're either going to hit them all, Jeff, or it's going to be – no, we're not even going to say it, Jeff. We're hitting them all. We're hitting them all this week. They're all coming through. The
I
tea
hope
leaves are
so.
clearing. They're really
I hope
clearing.
so. Well, and I want to make it very clear that, Pez, if what is this, our third year doing this, Pez?
Yes.
It's our third year doing this, and I've learned so much from you from just an approach standpoint. Or my Steelers coverage that I do for Fans First Sports Network. The Steelers coverage, I used to do a parlay of the week, and I would give 3 plays, a 3-leg parlay. This year, I said, we're not doing this anymore. It's stupid. And so I said, we're just going to do individual plays. And if I get you 2 out of 3, you're going to win some money and you're not going to be screwed. So hopefully people are listening to your advice outside of just making the plays, and it is stop doing stupid parlays. And man, you can see the sports books are pumping those up. You had the whole share the leg situation with FanDuel over the holiday. Parlays, unless your boy Legs is starting to hit some, I think they're for suckers.
Jeff, coming from a former guy who took bets, the parlay, the reverse, the teaser, these are all fringe bets where you're reducing your odds. I mean, you're reducing from a 50-50 chance on a straight bet down to single digits, depending on how many teams you're throwing in there. Having said that, Legs hit his first play of the year. It wasn't a parlay. It was a touchdown play where he bet 6 guys would score on Sunday. His $5 touchdown, whatever you want to call it, returned him $77, Jeff. The guy is rich. I think he's already blown it at the local bar. He's over there in Margate, probably at Robert's place, Jeff. But neither here nor there. Congratulations, Legs. But we're here to make people money. We're not here. We're not getting a cut from the house. We're trying to take the house's money. There's a reason that they don't advertise straight bets, and that's because the odds are in the gambler's favor and not the house's favor, at least even odds, and that's what we're looking for. And then you have a little data involved. You get a little advantage, and sometimes that advantage plays out. Sometimes it doesn't, obviously. But we think this weekend, Friday night, Bama, Oklahoma. Saturday, we got Miami, Texas A&M, and then followed by Tulane, Ole Miss, and we love all of them. I mean, people know I'm leaning Ole Miss, Jeff. People know we already talked about this. I think Lane Kiffin's a piece of crap, so I think Ole Miss got a lot to play for. We'll let it all come play as this week goes on because there's lines involved and those things change. But these plays are a little more predictable. Players, at least the starters, probably the top 2, at each position are sticking around. These are big games, and they probably get bonuses now. They're not going to pull anchor and transfer and miss playing in this playoff. I mean, you could have a great playoff as a college player and kind of seal your deal in the draft, and that these guys can have their lives change. Anybody can there. So God bless them. I hope they do it.
Absolutely. So we'll make sure Pez'sPicks.com is where you're going to find those plays for this weekend. Let's go to the NFL. It's been a while, but the last time we were either at 500 or above in the National Football League was before Thanksgiving. It's been tough. It has been tough sledding. We've had good college weeks, but we have been, and again, it's the week before the Thanksgiving holiday. We were 3-2. Since then, we've been below water, but we finished 500, and we're still clawing our way back. We're 18-20 on the season right now in National Football League picks, 2-2 last week. You can thank my Steelers later, but still, what did you think about the NFL? What's going on?
It couldn't be more unpredictable, Jeff. And, we're batting 500 roughly, a little bit under, a couple hits under. But the scores and the results we're seeing really, they're just not making sense. You have Buffalo or you have Baltimore getting smoked last week, and then they come out this week, and they look like a team like we haven't seen in a couple years. You've got Washington, who looked terrible. Then they come out and they put up a dome. Another team puts up a great effort. Houston, Jeff, I don't know who the hell this team is. Beginning of the year, it appeared that they were done. I mean, they started the year, they lost 3 straight to start the season, up and down, and now they're on a bit of a heater, 6 in a row. A very unpredictable year, very unpredictable with injuries and quarterback play. And, I think the kickoff rule has really changed things in aspects of gambling. Scoring's up. Especially last 2 minutes scoring is up, which makes it more exciting for the viewer in the league, but it does not make it predictable for the gambler. I mean, this is something that we hate in the gambling world. We hate last minute scoring, and it's something that we're having to tweak the system. I feel like we're there. I feel like we got a little bit robbed. New England, Jeff, really broke our heart. What I have a bit of a concern. Was Drake May figured out, Jeff? It's somebody, he's about one season in. season, that much tape generally determines how well you're going to be in the future. After anybody can be good for a year. After 1 year of tape, defensive coordinators can study your weaknesses, your whatever you're good at. And it appeared in the second half, Buffalo neutralized Drake May. He was terrible, Jeff. I mean, the guy couldn't move the ball, the 3-and-outs, interceptions, and they put up almost a donut, if not for some big break from a running back there. But I wonder going forward with Drake May, is his confidence shaken? Have they figured out a system that's going to prevent him from being the guy that it looked like all season? We'll have to wait and see. But big injury with Mahomes, I mean, that's devastating. Parsons' injury with Green Bay and Watson getting banged up, that's helpful for the Philadelphia Eagles. Devontae Adams with the Rams, another tough injury. And we're starting to get into this part of the season where teams are playing each other for the second time, divisional rivals. In the gambling world, traditionally, a team that lost the first time to a divisional rival is going to have a better chance the second time. So a lot of these things go into play. 3 weeks left. At least half the league's eliminated from the playoffs. So how much urgency is there? How much motivation? All these things we're pumping in the system. But we're feeling good, Jeff. We have at least 4 NFL games, maybe 5 that we're going to be putting up on the website. We'll be announcing later in the week. And I think this is the time of year where you can make your money. Teams that are peaking or coming on at the right time. The Philadelphia Eagles appear to be that team. Pittsburgh Steelers appear to be that team a little bit. These are the teams you want to ride going into the playoffs. Weeks, we're a 17-game season. Weeks, 9 through 13 probably are a little bit of a lull, probably not something to panic about. You want to win early and you want to win late. You want to be healthy late. And I like some of these chances going into the second half or the final quarter of the season, I should say.
There's some big games on the docket this week, Pez. Starting on Thursday night, you have the LA Rams going to Seattle, 2 dominant teams in the NFC, both in the NFC West, jockeying for position. Obviously, the Rams are the only team in the NFC that's locked up a playoff spot. You have the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears going head-to-head, the Steelers and Lions. You've got the Denver Broncos, the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's a lot of great games coming up. Is there one game in particular that you look at and you like, I have a good beat on this one? We're not going to give you the picks, obviously, if you listen or watch, but is there a game that you're looking at that you highlight and say, I've got a good feel for this one?
Well, we've got a good feel for Thursday. We'll be taking that game, Jeff.
Okay.
And, with Seattle last week, they did let us down a little bit. They won the game, but they didn't cover. One thing in all sports, when a star player goes down, either the team who's losing the player has a letdown or the team that's playing against them. And the older I get, the more I find the team playing the team who lost the star player has a letdown. Phillip Rivers, was serviceable. The guy only puts up 120 yards, though, Jeff. So and threw a pick. I mean, he didn't look like the Phillip Rivers of 10 years ago. So I think Seattle was in a little bit of a lull. I think this is a situation where this is basically a playoff game for seeding. And I think we have a good read going into this. We're going to keep following the line. The line opened with, I believe, Seattle laying 2.5. They were laying 2. Now they're getting 1. So we'll continue watching this, and we'll check the final injury report. But a good read on this game, Jeff, is beyond what we're thinking. Saturday night, we have a good read on both of those games, teams that we watch a lot. The one thing about gambling on West Coast teams, especially Northwest teams, a little bit tougher to keep up with them, but with the internet, of course, you can. We don't get to see them as much, though, Jeff. Even when having the Sunday ticket that Fans First takes care of us and supplies to us, tough to get in all those games. So NFC West, very difficult, but I think when you get into the middle of the country and the East Coast, a little bit of a better read. One team I can't figure out, Jeff, Buffalo. I don't know. I don't know going forward. Is Buffalo a good team or not? I just don't know. They can't defend. Is Baltimore for real? I don't know. I did like what I saw out of Pittsburgh, a return to the Pittsburgh style. They look better in the second half than the first half. That's a big thing that we look for in the gambling world, where New England was the opposite. They looked great in the first half, wilted in the second half, didn't seem to have answers. Vrabel seemed to lose his cool a little bit, and that's not a good sign. I wonder about that team. We will not be betting New England this week, Jeff. New England, Baltimore, I caution people. If I had to bet the game, if I was in a position where, a bunch of us are out, we're at the bar, Jeff, I don't know. You're drinking some creatine shake, and I'm proud of you, Jeff, okay? I'm doing shots with KT Smith and the guys. If everyone's asking me what we're putting money on, I think I'm betting Baltimore. Now, I'm not going to advise people to do that because they're a suspect team. Rumors Lamar is healthier again. I don't know if that's true. Are they going to be able to run this ball? I think New England, we could see a little bit of a letdown. And I think that Baltimore defense at home on a primetime game is still something that you don't want to kind of go into and face, especially on a cold night. And I think Drake May's got it. He, virtually a rookie, had a handful of games last year, but that game had to shake him last week. He blew that game, where Josh Allen stepped up and said, this is still my league. This is still, AFC goes through me a little bit, I think. And I would lean Baltimore, but I'm not saying that's a comfortable bet because Baltimore, who the hell knows who we get with that team?
That's true. Very fair. That's their last home game of the season, Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium, Sunday Night Football. I can't believe it. We're 15 minutes into this show, and you haven't talked about your birds. You haven't fluffed up those feathers after what a huge win over the Kenny Pickett-led Raiders. But any thoughts on the birds before we go to your top five?
The Philadelphia Eagles, Jeff, are still the best team in the NFC. We've beaten the Rams. We've beaten the Packers. The Bears was a situational thing, and the Bears suck, Jeff. We all know that. The Philadelphia Eagles are priming again at the right time. The offense was creative. Jalen looked comfortable. He ran the ball, Jeff. And I wonder, and if I was coach, I would have done this too. Did they tell him, you're not running the ball weeks, up till week 13, 14, till we really need you? Why get the guy hurt? They're good enough. They're going to win enough games to win that division with the sorry, cockroaches and the rest of those crap teams, Giants and Washington we have in that division. So I think Philadelphia has as good a chance as anybody to win the Super Bowl coming off the hardest season we've ever seen, Jeff. No team has ever had a schedule where you don't have 2 home games in a row, including this week, Jeff. Putting us on the road on a short week on a Saturday. Bring it, Washington. I'm feeling good about their chances, Jeff. I'm feeling good about Philadelphia Eagles going forward. And the AFC is a wild card. I think it could be an easier run for us, Jeff. Poor Mahomes going down. Chiefs done. Bring it on. I love our chances, Jeff. I think we're going to see both linemen come back. We had a couple significant injuries, offensive, defensive line. Lane Johnson being a really significant one. He'll be healthy. The guy's a warrior. They're holding him out. We don't need him, Jeff. We didn't even play the fourth quarter. The game was over. It was great. Good thing, though, Jeff. Made a good decision. Only problem with these Philadelphia Eagles, so popular, almost took the family. It was going to be just under $500 a ticket, Jeff. So, the way my wife and kid eat their Italian, probably a $2,000 day for me. If I went to that game in 5 below zero temps and I was home, that game was over by 3:45. I would have had to right to the casino and try and double down and win that money back. So I'm glad we watched it at home, Jeff. My family shut it down, I think, in the second quarter. My wife said it's over. So God bless Philadelphia Eagles. We're coming. We're coming, Jeff.
We'll see. All right. You ready for your top five?
Well, Jeff, the top five, and, hopefully this week, but people get to hear this one. We've had some technical difficulties, and we're working on that. So great top five this week. I think you'll like it. Top five of the week. Number 5, Jeff, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey.
My original favorite team. I had the leather sleeved yellow with the felt black back in probably 1978, Jeff. I'm dating myself a little bit, but I love Pittsburgh Steelers football this time of year. Tomlin, one of the greatest coaches I've ever seen, circled the wagons. Aaron Rodgers appeared more comfortable to me in that offense than I've seen him maybe all year, stretching the ball, a great running back situation. Kenny Gainwell looked great again. So Pittsburgh Steelers, number 5. Number 4, Jeff, the snow shovel. Maybe the most useful tool ever created aside from the iPhone. We needed it this week down in the around Atlantic City area. We got a whopping 2 inches, Jeff. The snow shovel. Who doesn't have a snow shovel? I like when I watch the news and people are running to buy a snow shovel. What? You know where you live. We get snow. I've got 3 of them, Jeff. I love every one of them. Number 3, heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Luxuries I've never had. My wife has this Toyota 4Runner, Jeff. Heated steering wheel is a delight. Thank you, Japan. Thank you, Toyota. My hands have never been warmer any winter. I love you, steering wheel. Maybe that's a little bougie, but forget about it. Number 2, Jeff, Tony's Baltimore Grill. We talk about it a lot. That is the center of Atlantic City gambling. That is our last clubhouse, whatever you want to call it, right behind the Tropicana, catty corner to the police station, so you're somewhat safe. A 24-hour bar. They stopped serving pizza 24 hours. That cuts off about 4 a.m. God bless that place. 4 pizzas, spaghetti and meatballs, antipasta, a couple cocktails. My bill was $104, Jeff. Where in America are you getting that anymore? Tony's Baltimore Grill. I love them. Thank you for supporting us. And number one, Christmas shopping, Jeff. I was out shopping. We actually went to stores, making the kid go out. Now, I'd like to say we were braving lines and it was a disaster. It's not, Jeff. There's nobody out anymore. Get out. Support the country. Stop wasting your money on Amazon. That's costing America jobs. Get out. Talk to some people. We hit the Bass Pro in Atlantic City. Delightful store. There's stuffed animals anywhere. My kid said we could even buy a gun in the store, which we could, Jeff, but we didn't. You could. There was a guy that jumped into the fish tank. We were hoping that happened. We didn't get to see it. That store is a mall in itself. Get to a shopping mall. Atlantic City's got some, decent kind of outlet stores, Nike, Adidas. We love walking that town. Philadelphia will be there this weekend. Great shopping. Get out, support the country, talk to some people, be a human and shop. Get off the internet. Internet shopping. What is that, Jeff? That's not even shopping. It's clicking buttons. You might as well give a gift card if you're going to be internet shopping.
All right, well, that's a great top five. Now, I do have to ask, and for those that are wondering, where can I find Pez on social media? You can find us now on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at Pez's Picks. Last week, you did a vinyl album of the week. I am a collector of vinyl records myself. I've got quite the collection that's been handed down from my uncle, my dad, and then to me, then going and purchasing a bunch myself at the local vinyl shop, which in my town is the largest vinyl record shop in the state of Maryland. So wow. we have a good one.
Have to check that one out with you.
It's awesome. It's if you come to town, definitely we're going there. But do you have a vinyl album for this week?
Well, my wife wanted this one, Jeff. It's sitting right in front of me, but we're not going to pick it. But it's a quality album. Soul Asylum, Jeff. I'll say that's our number 2 of the week, sitting right in front of me here. I thought I was going to have a pick. I picked up a really interesting one. Procol Harum live with an orchestra. Jeff, this album's a piece of crap, so that's not going to be the pick. Might have a little bit more of a modern one. We might go a little bit more of a Christmas kind of hinted album, but I agree. Listen to a record. The songs were made to play in order. It locks you into the record. I don't even know what I'm listening to. It's like walking through a casino when I'm listening on my Apple Shuffle. I forget every song. Listen to an album. Get out. Go to a concert. Have some fun, people. Let's get out of the house. I mean, but watch our shows, Jeff. I mean, the internet's good for us, and social media.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, Pez. Any final thoughts? Are we call it a show?
Go Birds, Jeff. Go Birds. Go Birds.
And go Steelers. That's about all guys say. Go Pennsylvania.
I'm with you on that.
Keystone State.
See you in the Super Bowl. We've got $10 on the Steelers winning that Super Bowl. I think it pays about $700. So I hope it hits, Jeff.
All right. I hope you're just too. All right, Pez. Good show as always. We'll talk next week. Take it easy.
Later.